Okay, this is a 2015 Kia Sedona SXL. So this is the highest trim package. Got low beams. Notice that this one here was not working just a second ago, but it has turned on, so that means it is failing. And if you look at it from here, maybe the camera can pick it up, see how it's a little bit purplish. And this one here, from the same angle, no purple at all. So this one you can see is really bright. This one you can see the light is kind of a purplish color there on the workbench. So there's not a good video for the SXL with the HID headlights. These HID headlights cannot be changed. I repeat, they cannot be changed by simply removing this cover plate, twisting and pulling it out. You literally have to remove this entire headlight assembly, has to come out of the vehicle in order for you to change the headlight. Now I just changed this one, the driver's side, and I'm putting it back together. So I'm going to show you the steps on how to do this on the passenger side. There's not really a whole lot more space on the passenger side than there is on the driver's side. If you had really small hands, if you've got halogen bulbs, those you can replace without taking the headlight assembly out. But on this model, you must take the headlight assembly out in order to change the HID bulb. It is in fact held in with a metal clamp that has 2 screws holding it in. There is not a spring clamp that you can trip with a pick and get it to come out. You have to remove the screws. And if you don't have the headlight assembly where you can tilt it up on its end, there is absolutely no way you're going to get the screws, which are teeny tiny little screws, and I'll show you that to you when I get to that point. There's no way for you to get those out and put them back in without dropping them into the headlight assembly, and then you're out of luck. So obviously I've already removed the plastic cover here that goes between the grill. So it goes between the grill and then the radiator support. Have that sitting over here. Let me shut these off. That way they can start to cool down. So you will need to remove, here's all the screws you need to remove. You've got to remove the screw here. Number 2, number 3, number 4. You have to remove both screws. These are headlight screws. You have to remove both of these. You have to remove this screw here. This is the only 12 millimeter headed bolt. All the rest of these are going to be 10 millimeters. So 10 millimeter, 10 millimeter. You have to pull out the plastic push pins that hold all of these on, okay? On mine, this one doesn't have a pin in it, so I didn't have to remove it. And then again, you have to remove this 12 millimeter head bolt in order to take this headlight assembly out. You also have to remove this cable keeper. This is going to be your latch release cable. This has to come out. So the easiest way, there's 2 tabs underneath, one right on the edge and the other one on the other side. You're gonna need a pick like this that's gonna be able to get in there and push it, or you might be able to get away with your push pin puller like this, but you're gonna have to squeeze those 2 tabs together just enough to pop that out so you don't break it. Now, this van has 94,000 miles on it. It's now 11 years old, so it's seen lots of heat cycles. It is garage kept. I'm pretty fortunate that all the plastics pretty well hold together. So once you have this upper panel removed and you have all of the bolts out of it all the way around, then you have to go and undo the bolts and the keepers that are down here. And let me show you. There's one there. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one. There's 4 of those that have to be changed out. Let me get the wheels moved the other direction, and I'll get back to you here in a second and we'll get this part taken off so that we can actually, you're gonna have to remove and pull off this lower bumper cover. It's gonna have to come forward probably 8 to 10 inches at least in order to get this headlight assembly out. Do not try to lift up on this headlight assembly. It does not come up from the back end. There are 2 tabs underneath, which I will show you, that the whole assembly has to slide forward. And if it doesn't slide forward, you're gonna break either the mounting tabs on the headlight assembly, or you're gonna break the mounting tabs that hold it in place. That would be preferable. Those you can replace easily. This is gonna cost you $1,000. So let me get things set up and I'll get back to you. After you've removed all of the screws and this cover plate here, you need to pull all of these, well, at least 2 of the tabs up. So the tabs on this end, see right here, this has got a plastic pin in it. It's a locator pin. And the same as this one over here. You just lift up, it'll come off. These in the middle don't have it, so you don't have to worry about that. But you do have to pull it up on this one. And then that frees that up. Now there's a few, get down here. Not only do you have to take out the screws that are along here that I pointed to a minute ago, but you also have to remove this screw up here, which is a Phillips screwdriver, screw head, and you have to go underneath and you have to remove this pin as well as this locator pin so that you can pull this bumper cover out and away from the vehicle. So I'm just going to unscrew these real quick and then I'll be right back. Sometimes these will come out really easily and then just unscrew like this. So they do great. You get them out about 1/2 inch or so, and then you can use your pry tool and just pop them out. Other times they'll just spin and they won't come loose. And if that happens, you can get if you can get your pry tool under the edge of the screw and put a little pressure on it, you'll be able to get it to spin out. And again, once you get it out about 1/2 inch, just pop it out. These ones are actually coming out nice and easy. Okay, then this screw up here. And out. These screws up underneath. And these just pop out so easily. Okay. Once you have all of those screws out, in order to take this front cover off without breaking tabs, you've got a mounting tab here and 2 more here, and then there's 2 underneath the headlight assembly around here. You need to verify that the bumper cover is loose, that you can pull it out from the bottom. When you do, when you pull it out, it'll create a space right here. This will allow this first pin to come undone. So then with that pulled down, you can then push up slightly and then pop it out as you lift up on the bumper cover slightly, because these clips here, they have to come up and over the clip that's in there. So if you lift it up high enough, it'll pop right off. These 2 here in the front, pretty much just use a little bit of force And now this whole section is now loose. So again, if it gets caught on the pin right here, make sure that you have removed it. Now this whole area can come apart far enough for you to get this whole assembly out. Since I already removed the screws, all the mounting screws for it, the only other thing you have to do is disconnect the wiring harness. So there's this one up at the top. There's one more down here that has to come off. Okay, everything now is disconnected from this. With this being able to pull out like this, you can then you can grab a hold of the light, push down slightly, and this feels like it's still caught on something. I do have, yeah, everything should be. Why is that? Everything is disconnected. Grab the flashlight and just make sure that this bottom one is loose. And it is not. Okay. There we go. Okay. And that is a rivet that needs to be replaced. It actually goes in here, so that's nothing to do with the headlight assembly. So we'll move this forward. And then, unlike the driver's side, this one just lifts right up, comes out, which is fantastic. Now here is what I'm talking about. This is the reason you have to remove the headlight assembly in order to change this light out. There are two screws, one on this side, one on the other side, that hold this whole headlight assembly in place. They have to be unscrewed and removed. Okay, that one's out. Be very careful because you do not want to drop the screws down into the headlight assembly. Be rattling around trying to get them out of there. Okay, once I get the second screw pretty close to all the way out, start putting a little bit of pressure pulling up on the mounting tab so that I don't lose the screws. Then I very carefully remove the mounting bracket from the light, set it and the screws aside. Now you can remove the light bulb about this is as far out as this HID bulb will come out before you can unplug it. You just unplug it like that. Now, I'm not wearing any gloves, but I'm not going to be touching this new bulb. Do not touch the new bulb. Any oil whatsoever that you get on it is going to cause it to burn out prematurely. So this one here, I went with the Osram D3S bulbs. They're original 35 watt bulbs, and my local dealer, Kia dealer, they no longer carry these bulbs in stock, and they're $205 a piece if you can get them at the dealer price. Normally they charge like $300 for them. These ones ended up being $45 a piece, and I bought them from Bulb America in New York, and it just took a week for them to ship them. So remove that, plug the new bulb in, making sure that it's oriented correctly, bulb facing down, plug that in, and then set the bulb back down in place, making sure that the wiring is out of the way so it can sit flat. Now, take the bracket and very carefully set this down in place just far enough that you're not pushing the screws out of it, but that you can screw them in. Okay, make sure that you do have a piece, like I've got a piece of cardboard underneath me. Put something soft underneath the headlight. Otherwise, you could end up scratching up, especially if you just rested on a concrete garage floor. As a tip, most people already know how to put screws in, but I'll just comment that if your screws are sitting in an angle, it's always best practice to turn them counterclockwise a couple of times just to make sure that they line up with the screw hole and you don't cross thread them. So work both sides down evenly until they're both snug. Okay, and these just need to be basically just tight. You don't need to reef down on them, you just need to be just tight. This bulb is bad, I don't care about it, I'm just gonna drop it in here and throw it away. So, one difference, it's okay if I touch this because again, this bulb is bad, but one difference I noticed is that the original OEM bulb has this little piece of foil, basically, or metal around it. The replacement ones don't. So there might be some slight difference, but this is a direct replacement and it is considered an OEM. So, okay, last thing to do with this is, while I already have it out, I had previously removed this light cover, trying to make sure, see if I could get it out without removing the headlight, which you can't. So go ahead and put that back in place, tighten it till it's all the way closed. And then we're gonna pull this back out. And this again is a two-person job. Yeah, let's go this way, there we go. Okay, so I've got it set down, mostly in place. Make sure that the plastic part is covering the mounting tab. Make sure that your mounting bracket right here is up above the support. Once you have it there, you can slide it back, push down, and then push it into place, making sure that both catch and that you can't just easily pull it up. Okay, remember that it's your bolts that hold it in place. The mounting tabs are just there to support the bottom of it. Okay, once you've done that, you can go ahead and put our bumper cover back into place. We'll push on the front of the cover here once we make sure it's lined up. Make sure that these mounting tabs along here go up and over like they're supposed to. A slight tap with your hand is really all that's needed to push these back into place. I like to verify that my inner wheel well cover is in the right place where it needs to be. So it needs to be behind the upper lip here of the fender, but it needs to be on the outside of the bumper cover. So again, for these, should be able to just slightly lift up on it and get those two in. Not much pressure is needed, but on this bottom, you have to tuck it down. You have to pull it down in order to get it underneath the mounting tab, just like that. So once you've done that, just double check. Again, it's just light pressure. Now, all I have to do is put all the hardware back in. So before you put everything back together, good practice is to verify that the light works. So I'm just going to turn the vehicle on, turn the headlights on, make sure that it turns on. So I've got to plug in. Have to plug the wiring harness back in up here so that that can be checked. Okay, make sure that they click into place. And then I'm just going to start it and verify that the light's working. Okay, one last note before I put the last screws and everything back in, just reverse order, exactly opposite of what you did. The driver's side was more difficult than the passenger side to remove. I don't know what the real difference was, but I just struggled a little bit more to get this one out than I did to get that one out. It was a little harder to get that loose from the tabs, but this one, I could not do it by myself. I had to get another person. It's so much easier to do it with a second person. So make sure you have an assistant to help, at least for the minute or two it takes to pull this bumper cover away so you can pull the headlight assembly out. Both lights are clearly working. They say that with new HID bulbs, it can take a couple of minutes for them to warm up. So they will get brighter, as well as over the first week or so of new bulbs, they do get brighter. And then hopefully, if these last as long as the original ones, I'll get another 90,000 miles out of it. Who knows if I'll have the van still at that point in time. But I'm going to go ahead and put it all together, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much, and I hope this helped you out.